Aston Villa title challenges. They won this morning. They won 3-1. And that moves the Villains into second place. Just for now. They still could be leapfrogged this evening when Manchester City play. But the 3-1 win over Sean Dyche's Nottingham Forest was emphatic, to say the least. 2 goals from John McGinn. It's a performance. It's a match they should have won. Let's put it that way. Nottingham Forest lurk around the bottom of the table. Obviously, a disaster of a start to the season for them with the whole Nuno and the Ange thing, but that moves Aston Villa into second place. 6 points currently behind league leaders Arsenal. And Aston Villa have only lost 4 times this season. And I just we'll point out, Aston Villa and Arsenal have already played each other and both respectively have won a game each. So who knows? I think they're title challengers. I think Unai Emery is a proven manager. I think he's got this Aston Villa team really humming at the moment. He's got a good goalkeeper. He's got some pretty influential people, especially in that midfield with Yuri Tielemans and Morgan Rogers, who's having a season for sure. Let's put it that way. Arsenal picked up 3 points in a 3-2 win against Bournemouth this morning. I think that was probably an expected result. Bournemouth sort of gave them a bit of a game, scoring 2 themselves. But Arsenal obviously just have that extra bit of class to see out the victory. Speaking of who's in third place, just behind Aston Villa, one of the teams that could leapfrog this morning, if they do, Manchester City. They take on Chelsea in the this evening, in the morning, Australia time, however you want to look at it, at the Etihad tonight. Which Manchester City and Chelsea are always a very good fixture to watch, especially for the neutral. It's going to be an interesting one, especially just because Chelsea have sacked Enzo Maresca in just the last couple of days. So that super duper fresh. It sounds like it could be due to links with Enzo Maresca wanting to take Pep's job once Pep moves on from Manchester City. But who really knows for sure? So it adds a little bit of spice to the match for sure. I want to say Manchester City will take the win, but who knows? Chelsea is one of those teams that lose when they probably shouldn't, but win when you least expect it type thing. They can have some up and down games for sure, but I think Manchester City this season just ooze class. So Chelsea currently have the under-21s coach, Callum McFarlane is his name. He'll take charge of them in the interim. Who knows how long that is going to be, but they're currently linked to the RC Strasbourg coach and former Hull City manager Liam Rosenior, who I think formerly played at Hull City and Brighton. He led Strasbourg to a 1-1 draw in Nice this morning in the Ligue 1. I don't know much about him in terms of managerial side of things, but it's certainly interesting, that sort of situation that's going on at Chelsea at the moment. In bottom of the table news, Wolves won. Wolverhampton Wanderers won a game. They picked up their first 3 points of the season in January. It only took them a couple of months to get their first win. But they picked it up against also relegation candidates, West Ham United 3-0. I don't think West Ham United or their supporters will be too happy with the result, as statistically they dominated the possession of the game, and Wolves just made it count with putting the ball in the back of the net. Something they have struggled to do. I mean, both teams have struggled to win games. Wolves more so this season. Only having 3 points, picking up 3 draws prior to this game. So that's a great point for them. Unfortunately, I do think if I bring up the table to the left of me, I do think they're pretty cemented down there, and it's going to take a lot. So Burnley sit just above them, who have won 3 times this season. They won 3 times this season, and they're currently on 14 points. So sorry, that was West Ham's. Burnley are second, only won 3 games this season and sit on 12 points. So 2 wins above Wolves, but I sort of struggle to see where they will get points. Many more points in what's left of the season. They take on Everton away next, and Everton are doing all right this season, doing better than they have done in recent years. Sort of helps with the addition of Jack Grealish. I think he's starting to enjoy his football again, which is good to see. Liverpool are off to Craven Cottage tonight to face Fulham. Fulham are fresh from a draw against Crystal Palace. Liverpool need to extend their sort of position in the table. They currently sit 4th, but I mean they're only 3 points above 5th. But as it currently stands, there's still some games in hands. Anyone between 14th and 5th can leapfrog anyone. There's only 3 to 6 and around there sort of points where it can go either way, and teams can move around quite frequently. So I sort of want the Reds to extend that. It would be a good opportunity this evening, with Chelsea taking on Man City. Man City are above Liverpool, but I just want to make sure we sort of finish top 4 now. I mean, we can pretty much write off the season in terms of being title challengers for Liverpool. I think we're so far away from that, and I think it sucks when your manager's admitting defeat like that, but I think he's also put Liverpool in the situation that they are in now. I do think, unfortunately, the loss of Jota is tragic, and we've all mourned that, and the players are feeling it as well. But I think on top of that, though, he sent too many players out. I don't think he recruited sufficiently. I think the players he bought in, sort of why he bought them in, sort of leave you scratching your head a bit. Especially how he doesn't play some of them, or when they do play, how he's setting up to play them sort of doesn't make any sense. Like the signing of Isak, to me, doesn't make any sense. I thought we got our striker in Ekitike, and I thought that was sort of us out of the Isak deal. And then, before you know it, in the weeks that followed, our links with Isak were hot again. And then all of a sudden he's signing for us. So I don't know whether that was the right decision. I feel like we lack in so many other positions on the field. I would still love a 6, but he's not going to get a 6, because that's going to threaten Gravenberch's position, and I feel like Gravenberch probably shouldn't play as many games as he has this season, and he does so. But yeah, look, Fulham are a tough team. They're currently mid-table. They're in that 14th to 5th sort of spot where they can move absolutely anywhere between those positions on the table. So it'll be tough. They got a good squad, and I think Craven Cottage is just one of those places that I feel as Liverpool go to, and they just struggle. So look, 3 points would be great. It's sort of out of the leads in the Fulham game for Liverpool, I thought would win against Leeds, but I thought Fulham was the game we're going to slip up against. But we'll see in the morning. It'll be interesting. Liverpool don't have many players out. They got a heap of players out, but they don't have any injuries from the game against Leeds, which is good. So expect more of the same. Hopefully Rio Ingamoa starts. That would be lovely. Or even if he doesn't start, but he gets on the field and he gets more than 6 minutes, that would be good. So I think he showed he's fully capable, and I think if we're going to keep him at the club for the next half of the second half of the season, then he needs to be playing. Otherwise, we're wasting his development, and he'd be getting a bunch more minutes in the Championship or somewhere overseas. That would benefit Liverpool in the long run, but we'll see. That's the preview for Sunday night, Monday morning. We'll catch up with you in the morning after the games or in the Arvo. We'll see. See ya.